This is part 2 to a 2-part series, so if you haven't seen the first one, I will link it down in the description below. Please go and watch it because it will make more sense when I talk about certain things from that video in this one. But before we get into that though, if you don't know who I am, hi, I'm Sonic Boy. I do Sonic news, reviews, and sometimes video essays. If you could, please like and subscribe, because we're trying to 4,000 subscribers whenever we do that, and likes really help me out on the algorithm. Also, I live stream every Saturday at 11 AM PST and 2 PM EST. Please come check it out, we always have so much fun. If you saw the last video, then you know the drill. We're talking about the Sonic Pass this time, but if you haven't seen the last video, what are you doing here? Now, the ground rules for this one haven't changed all that much. It's still the 10 packs, which include 2 characters, 1 track, 1 vehicle, except the free characters. Instead of 10 now, we have 20, obviously because there's more Sonic characters that I know of to pull from. So let's get started with the Sonic characters, shall we? First, for the free characters, we have Zamam, Xena, Master Zik, and Zor. These are the first 4. Obviously, I don't think I need to explain these ones all that well because, obviously, we have Zaz and Zavok in there already, so we might as well just push the Deadly 6 in there. I feel like that would be a really good choice. I would probably not give them all their own vehicles in this specific pass, mostly because there's just so many characters. Maybe just assume that everyone gets a car, and then I'll be happy with that. The 5th slot is Chip. Now, obviously, I feel like this one's a no-brainer. Just have Chip in there. I don't know exactly how they would do that, but they could probably figure it out. Then we have Trip the Sun Gazer from Sonic Superstars. Now, this one is kind of like an iffy pick because it's the classic character. It would be the first classic character would add to the game. I still feel like they could pull it off, especially considering how decently Sonic Superstars sold. So, yeah, I feel like they could easily include her and not have any issues. I feel like, and she obviously wouldn't talk because they're all classic characters. Classic characters obviously don't talk, guys. Speaking of classic characters, now we have Fang the Hunter, or Fang the Sniper, whatever you want to call him. Anyway, he would be the next one, as well as Bean the Dynamite and Bark the Polar Bear. Now, obviously having the hooligans in here is also a no-brainer. They would probably all just share a vehicle, which would be the riding thing that you see in the Archie comics, as well as what you see in the Fang the Sniper comic. And then, the number 10 spot goes to Scourge the Hedgehog. You may have seen him on the teaser for the first video, but I decided to change that last minute. Whoopsie. Anyway, I feel like this is also another no-brainer, mostly due to the fact that everyone likes Scourge. Like, I see no, like, negative in putting him in there. Although, it could be iffy depending on who technically owns Scourge. I still think it goes to Sega, but Ken Penders would probably say otherwise. Anyway, that was Wave 1. Now, I want to do these in 2 waves. Mostly, one has 10 characters and the other one has 10 characters, just so it, like, lightens the load on people. Like, they could just have 10 characters release at once and then they'll have the other 10 release at another time, you know? I feel like that'd just be a better decision overall, not only for the people consuming the product, but as well as the people developing it. Now, Wave 2, which is the final wave, by the way, there's only 2 waves, which would be Commander Abraham Towers. Now, you'll see why I picked him later, but I feel like this isn't an out there choice. They already have Eggman and Sage, which are both technically human-ish characters. I feel like this is a no-brainer. If they want to add him, just have Roger voice him. Again, in a perfect world, all of them would have voices, but yeah, I see no reason why they shouldn't put him in, especially considering what's in the season pass as well. So, yeah, I would be pretty happy if this actually ended up happening. Next, we have E102 Gamma from Sonic Adventure. Now, we don't really know how the Prime skins work, whether they're going to be selectable in, like, an options menu, or if it's going to be separate spots entirely, but I wish something like that would happen with the E100 series, where you could select which one that you wanted from Sonic Adventure. Omega would be a separate one, but yeah, they would come with E102 Gamma and all of the other ones that were included in Sonic Adventure. The next one we have here is Infinite from Sonic Forces. Now, this is kind of like one of those no-brainer picks because everyone kind of likes the idea of Infinite. We all wished he kind of came back, was expanded upon more, maybe had better writing behind him too, but no, he's dead. But this would be the perfect place to bring him back in a just generic racing game. And that, well, not generic. You guys obviously have seen recently that Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is gearing up to be one of the best Sonic Racing games of all time. But just bring him in here as a little spin-off thing, that'd be really cool. Next one we have here is Neo Metal Sonic. I feel like this design distinguishes itself enough to the point where it could be its own character slot. Besides like Neo Metal Sonic 3.0, that could be a character skin. But yeah, I see no problem with this one as well. I feel like they could do really cool things with like his car, like how he interacts with other characters in game, because again, all of these characters would have interactable stuff with each other in a perfect world. But yeah, I feel like this is a really good choice. Everyone likes Neo Sonic right now. He's kind of in everything, whether it be the IDW or the games. He's even making a comeback in Sonic X Generations, so that's honestly really cool. Next, we have Shara from Sonic and the Secret Rings. Now, this one's kind of like an iffy pick. I kind of decided between her and Shade from Sonic Chronicles The Dark Brotherhood, but I ended up going with Shara because she's more well-known. I think I like her character design just a little bit better than just like a woman Knuckles with cybernetic stuff on her. She's still a really cool design, but I think I just was going to go with Shara here. Yeah, I feel like this is a really good pick. I don't think she needs really a car, maybe Extreme Gear, but we would have to wait and see for that. Again, wait and see like any of this is happening. But yeah, though I feel as though this is a good pick. I would pick a couple characters from the storybook games to be in here, definitely. Next, we have Merlina from Sonic and the Black Knight. Now you know why I chose Shara, because I wanted to have both of those characters in here as well, and you will soon see why those two specifically are in here, because their counters are also in the game. Let's just get these two out of the way right now. First, we have Eraser de Jin and King Arthur from Sonic and the Secret Rings and Sonic and the Black Knight, respectively. Now, to have the villains of those two in here, they only appeared in one game, along with Shara and Merlina, obviously, but I feel as though this would be a really cool thing to do. A lot of people have been getting nostalgia for Sonic and the Secret Rings as well as Black Knight recently. The next two are IDW characters. First, we have Dr. Starline. Now, I know a lot of people don't like his character. Like, obviously, he's a great character. People just don't like him because he's annoying and stuff like that. And I feel like we need to see more IDW stuff in the main games. So if we get it in a spin-off first, I would be totally happy with that. And the next one we have here is Mimic. Now, if you guys don't know who he is, it's this guy. He appeared most prominently in the Tangle and Whisper series, but he has been sneaking in the background of a lot of things in the IDW comics recently. I feel like the newest one coming up has him in there. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but he's hiding his cream. But anyway, those are pretty much all of the free characters, so let's get into the actual season pass. Pack 1 would include Tangle and Whisper, and they'd be in Restoration HQ with the Wispon Extreme Gear that was leaked, by the way. That hasn't officially been leaked. And yeah, I feel like this is honestly the most likely out of any of these, because Whisper has actually been leaked for the game with the Wispon. And yeah, I feel like that's just a really safe pick. I really like the IDW characters, so just bring them in wherever you can, even if it's like a little reference like they did in Sonic Frontiers. Next, we have Gerald and Maria Robotnik from Sonic X Generations, those versions specifically. They'd be going around Space Colony Arc as well as having a gun vehicle. Now, some of you may be saying, Maria in a gun vehicle? But let's just say this is before she died, and technically Gerald has been working with Gun the entire time on the Space Colony Arc. So I'm just saying that now. Like, this isn't technically hypocritical whatsoever, mostly because in this context the characters would still be alive, they'd still be happy and all that stuff. The next pack that we have here is Tikal and Chaos, and they'd be in Station Square, and they'd probably have a water car and a water extreme gear. Like I said in the last video, I can bend the rules a little bit if I think it makes sense, and I feel as though Tikal could have the car, and then Chaos could have the water extreme gear. Like, that would just be really cool to see Chaos in there riding an extreme gear. Like, I would pick him literally every single time, like, out of all of the characters. That would be so cool. The next one we have here is a little more obscure, but it's Marine the Raccoon and Gardon from Sonic Rush Adventure. Now, a lot of you may not know who they are. I'll put images of them on the screen, but they would be in Plant Kingdom, I believe, the first stage from that game, and they would have the SS Supermarine, which would be this vehicle right here. This just seems like a basic take. I know a lot of people have been really fond of the Sonic Rush series, so I feel like having more characters from that series in here only does nothing but good. Especially considering we've been seeing Marine in a lot of recent places, so seeing her in CrossWorlds would not surprise me whatsoever. Pack number 5 would include Mighty and Ray, as well as them being in Volcanic Vault from Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, and they would probably have their own extreme gear and the car. Maybe, I'm not sure who would get the car, maybe Mighty, because he'd probably be old enough to have his license, and Ray, well, probably not. Now that I think about it, how can any of these characters drive cars? Is it like the thing where you go to amusement parks, you have to be this tall to ride? All these characters are under 2 feet. How do they even have, like, the right to, like, drive a car? Pack 6 would be Classic Sonic and Classic Tails, and they would be in Green Hill, and they would have the OG Sonic car and the OG Tails car. I feel like those are really safe options. I don't know exactly how they would do that in terms of like interactions and stuff like that, but maybe there could be some humor derived out of them staying silent. Who knows? Although Classic Tails wouldn't be silent. Maybe Classic Knuckles and Amy would. Pack number 7 includes Classic Knuckles and Classic Amy. I spoiled you there, but you didn't know. Anyway, they would be in Mushroom Hill, and they would have the OG Knuckles car as well as the OG Amy car. Maybe not with an animated face, but that would still be really funny if they did that. I could see these last two packs happening, definitely. I don't feel as though that there's enough classic representation in this game, so maybe they could definitely do that. It's definitely more of a love letter to the modern stuff of the series with the extreme gear, all the different characters they're bringing in that aren't classic characters, and yeah. Although I do know Classic Sonic the Hedgehog would be very happy about all of these characters making it into the game. Pack 8 would include Sally Acorn as well as Bunny Rabbit, and they would be in New Mobotropolis from the pre-reboot Archie series, as well as them having their extreme gear from the post-reboot Archie series. So I feel like they could just kind of like blend the two series together, and that would just be really cool. It's the same sort of deal with Pack 9. You would have Rotor and Antoine being in there, and they would have Not Whole Village as their kart racing area, again from the pre-reboot Archie comics, as well as the Sad AM series, and they would probably have the Sky Patrol from the post-reboot Archie series, and maybe Antoine would have his extreme gear, or maybe, does he have a plane? He pilots a plane in the post-reboot stuff. Yeah, that's right. Who really knows, though? I feel like these last two are really good picks for representations about Archie and Sad AM as well. The last pack, Pack 10, would include Mephiles and Black Doom. They would both be in Kingdom Valley, and they would have a black Comet car. I don't know exactly how they would do that, and maybe Mephiles could get like his own extreme gear made off of like the material that comes off him when he's in that weird state that he's always in nowadays, but yeah, I feel like this is another really good pick. A lot of Sonic fans really want to see Mephiles and Black Doom return in more stuff, so just having them stuck in Sonic X Generations doesn't really make sense to me. Have them in the racing game, let people experience that. That would be so cool. But yeah, that is pretty much every single pick that I want for a Sonic Pass, hypothetically, for Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. Now, I know not every Sonic character is in there. Maybe some people are mad at my picks personally, but I still would think this is a really solid list, and I would like to see pretty much any of these characters appear in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. That would be really cool. So let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video. And make sure to put your dream picks in the comments as well. Bye.